You're welcome back. Now, the government has extended the deadline for the selection of senior high schools to June 25, following the inclusion of private senior high schools in the free senior high school policy. As part of efforts to assess the readiness of these private schools for implementation, we have decided to invite into our studio the Public Relations Officer of the Conference of Heads of Private Second Cycle Schools, Kyei, Naphtali. You're welcome to ChannelOne Newsroom.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's good to be here.
You are very excited about this decision to roll you up onto the free senior high school.
Well, excitement is understatement. We are more than elated. We think that it's a welcoming news. It's a long-awaited news. It's something we've always wanted to have. And I think it's the greatest opportunity we've been given, and it's good.
Just to understand, so when they say private senior high schools, are there some categories that would not join, or every senior high school is free? And is it voluntary, is it compulsory, is it optional? What's the plan? All
right, so this is how it's going to be. One, it's not compulsory.
Okay.
It's voluntary.
Okay.
So opportunity will be given for all interested schools to apply. So once you apply, government through the Ghana Education Service would have a system in place to profile all the schools that have applied.
Okay.
Then once you qualify, we put you on the CSPSS system. Then when parents, of course, would select the school, they are posted to the place. So it's not compulsory for all. You have all kinds of private schools, senior high schools, so it's not compulsory. Well, if you are interested, you apply to join.
Do you know do you have the number of members of your association who have applied and have been accepted, so that how many private schools are we likely to see on the stream?
Okay, so the intention of government was to start this from the 2026-2027 academic year.
Next year?
That's next year. So initially when we were ahead next year, the moment you tell somebody next academic year, we are in June. Next academic year starts September 2025.
Correct.
So we had to now, we decided to put it into perspective. So we know it's 2026-2027 academic year. But the good news is that we had to push government further to say, though the intention is to have schools join 2026-2027, we can still have some few schools to join 2025-2026 academic year. So that we pilot that, let's see the outcome, we'll know the weaknesses, the lapses, we can remedy the situation even before the floodgate is open. And God being so good, we have now had 25 schools who are joining the 2025-2026 academic year.
And parents of your wards are aware of this? You have informed them?
When you say parents...
Those who you deal with in the past, so those who are currently in senior high school in your school, are they going to continue to join, or are they going to start from Form 1, and are the parents aware of this?
Oh, so what we are talking about are those who are about to come,
are yet to join.
Who are yet to join.
Okay, so you don't have PT for those ones here?
No, not at all.
Okay, what about tuition and accommodation? Both going to be taken care of by free SHS, or what's the agreement with the government?
So our discussion with government is that the policy is going to start with that of day students. So government is sending day students to us at the moment. We have agreed that as it stands, government is paying the same amount earmarked a student going to public school. However, if the student gets to the school and decides that he wants to use the boarding facility of the school, the student would only have to do the top-up for the boarding facility and still stay in the boarding facility. But the negotiation, the agreement, everything is basically for day school.
And now that you've been giving the clearance, and let me reverse again to those who are yet to come to your school, have you started doing campaigns in public GHS and maybe private GHS and saying to them that, hey, in the past you could only choose schools A, B, C, D. Now you can also choose us. Have you started doing those campaigns? That private schools are on the stream now, they can apply to them? I'm asking this because I know that they have. Okay, when I was going to secondary school, they had a book that contained all the secondary schools, and you choose them. This time around, I know they are giving a document that they choose schools from.
That's it.
Have you managed to have your names on that book or that list? And are children in GHSs aware, those who are preparing for BEC, aware that they can choose private schools in their vicinities? Okay,
so just as I mentioned, those writing the BEC now who will be enrolled for 2025-2026 academic year, unfortunately, will not see a private senior high school on the portal.
Because they were not the initial target.
Exactly.
So it's a later development.
Yes. So now that though there's an extension, the 25 will be added at the moment. So that if you are interested, you can select out of the 25 and let them join. But come 2026-2027 academic year, where we put more on board, that is where you need to position yourself. It's not just a matter of the campaign. Parents want quality, and of course they want to see that. So if they are posted to your place It should merit why I would want my world to be in a private school rather than a public school. They need to see that.
I was going to ask that. People want to choose a private school because, oh, private school, I'll pay more and I'll get better, unlike government school. Now that you're going to be at par with the public school, what will differentiate you from public schools?
You see, they still believe, just the introduction of free SHS, you realize that some parents, once the children go for the public schools and they're on vacation, they come to do vacation class. They see what the quality you can produce. They see what you have. There are some excesses. There are some extra things you do that government leaves it between you and the PTA to decide.
Okay.
So what makes private private? The quality that makes private private. Government is not really ready to really interfere in that. In as much as government is ready to check the excesses, just to know that you don't take advantage of the situation and abuse the system, government is equally giving that free range that you deal with the PTA. Now that's a restoration of PTA. So you deal with PTA, whatever makes you quality, handle that with the PTA, and that's something
so your standards and your quality would remain the same as private schools, despite the fact that you're joining free senior high school?
The free senior high school should not be a recipe to compromise standard, and it's something all member schools should know. The free senior high school is not a recipe to compromise standard. Rather, it should be that kind of campaign. It should be that kind of posture where you tell government that I did not regret bringing you on board.
Okay.
Let that competition be there.
If I choose a private school and I'm admitted, I know I'm going to enjoy free senior high school, and yet I'm in the boarding house, I'm not a day student. What's going to happen to me? Okay,
so the arrangement with government is that government is only handling that of day students. So for example, if say a day student is earmarked 1,500 or 2,000 based on how much government is giving, and the boarding facility is say 4,000, it means that the parent would have to do a top-up of 2,000 if it were 2,000 for day.
Okay.
That is an agreement between the school and the PTA, and that is fundamental.
Okay, finally, and this is going to be my last question, government release of money, always a problematic issue. You are sure and safe that you can run these schools if government asks you to run so that they pay you later? And if the issues of payments from government stop coming, you are not going to go on demonstration and strike and send the students home? Because you are a private school. You are a private school. You are free to do it. Government cannot do that.
Yes,
but
yes. You see, these issues came up, and the reality is that most of the schools already are affiliated to some financial facilities already. Even without free SHS, have their own challenges, and we've had that support from some of these financial institutions. And knowing very well that government owes me, there's no better news than to know that government owes me.
Because you are sure that government will pay you.
Obviously.
Unless there's a haircut.
You can imagine. Even that, the head will be restored later. So we are rest assured that.
Thank you so much for joining us on Channel One Newsroom.
It's a pleasure.
So that's Richard Kyei Naphtali. He speaks for the Association of Private Senior High Schools. Let's move to something.